He warned her once, gently, then again with quiet firmness. She brushed it off like it was just noise, like it was impossible that he'd ever walk away. But now she's crying, broken and desperate, and none of it matters anymore. You ever look into the eyes of someone you love and realize they never really believe you'd leave? That no matter how clearly you said the words, how often you drew the line, they thought your love would keep bending forever? That was a slow unraveling of my marriage. Her name is Alyssa. We met back in college, one of those unexpected stories that felt like fate. I was a quiet one, focused, disciplined, content with a background. She was all light and fire, bold laughter, eyes that lit up every room, a restless spark that made everything feel alive. I never imagined a woman like her would fall for a guy like me, but she did, or so I believed. The early years were golden. Midnight conversations that blurred into dawn. Road trips with no destination. Just a tank of gas and her feet up on the dashboard. We danced barefoot in the kitchen at 2 a.m., humming tunes from old records. We built a rhythm, one I treasured more than anything. I climbed the ladder in logistics, slow and steady. She launched an online business, poured her creativity into something she could own. We weren't rich, but we were building something honest. Or at least, that's what I thought. The change came softly at first, like the subtle shift of seasons. She began receiving messages late at night, laughing quietly, brushing it off when I asked. She started going out more, spending long hours with friends I barely knew. I didn't want to be the jealous husband. I respected her space, trusted her independence. But something unspoken began to grow between us. The way she looked at me changed, less warmth, more distraction. Our conversations shrank. Our silences stretched longer. Intimacy dimmed until it became a mechanical gesture, then nothing at all. I brought it up once, calmly, gently. Is something wrong between us? She smiled, that soft, condescending smile that makes you doubt yourself. You're overthinking again, she said, brushing a hand across my arm. I hesitated. Is there someone else? She laughed, not a warm laugh, an empty one, the kind that stings. Babe, don't be insecure. I would never. And I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to believe her. So, for a time, I convinced myself maybe I was just imagining it. But you can only silence your gut for so long. It never goes quiet, not really. It just keeps whispering louder until you can't ignore it anymore. The moment of truth came like a storm you know is coming, but still aren't ready for. I had a business trip planned to Chicago a week away. I packed the night before, kissed her goodbye that morning around 7, and left. Except I never got on the plane. Something about that day felt off. The entire drive to the airport, there was this weight in my chest, tight, insistent. So I turned the car around. I drove back, parked a few houses down, and waited. At first, the house stayed still. Nothing. Then around noon, a silver BMW pulled into the driveway. One I didn't recognize. My heart sank like a stone in water. She opened the door for him, smiling like she'd been waiting. They embraced, familiar and easy. Then they kissed, slow, deliberate, right there in front of the home we made together. The same house where we painted walls and picked curtains and argued over where to hang the damn spice rack. They walked inside. I stayed in my car. For 3 hours, I sat there, motionless. No yelling, no tears, just a stunned, icy silence. Hands trembling, breathing uneven. Then I drove away. I didn't burst through the door, didn't demand answers. That wasn't going to be my move. I needed something colder than rage. I needed clarity. In the days that followed, I became quiet, methodical. I reached out to a lawyer, gathered every financial document I could find and made copies, opened a separate bank account, found a furnished apartment on the other side of town, and began the process of forwarding my mail. All the while, I played the part. I kissed her goodnight. I asked how her day went. I made her coffee in the morning. But inside, I was a hurricane wrapped in the disguise of a calm breeze. And then came the night I told her, 1 month later. We were eating dinner, roasted chicken, a glass of wine each, music low in the background. I looked across the table and said, "Remember that business trip to Chicago?" She nodded without looking up. I continued, "I never got on a flight." Her fork paused. "I saw him. The BMW. I saw everything." She froze. Her face went pale. All the arrogance and smugness drained in an instant. Her lips parted, but no words came. Just the truth finally cornered. Tears welled in her eyes. "I didn't mean for it to go that far," she whispered. "It was just a phase. I was feeling lonely. I didn't think you'd ever find out." I nodded slowly, holding her gaze. "You're right. You didn't think I'd find out. And you definitely didn't think I'd leave." I reached into my bag, pulled out the envelope, and slid across the table. Divorce papers. Signed. Filed. She broke then, pleading, sobbing. Her voice cracked under the weight of desperation. She said it meant nothing. She begged me not to throw us away. Promised counseling, change, a second chance. Said we could start over. But there's a line that once crossed makes the road back impossible. Not because I stopped loving her, but because she stopped believing I had the strength to follow through on what I said. Long ago, I told her plainly, "If you ever cross that line, I won't fight. I'll just walk." And so I did. That night, I packed a duffel bag, left the keys on the counter, and walked out, not just from the house, but from the weight of everything she shattered. She still tries sometimes. Leaves voicemails. Emails. Says she's changed. That she still dreams about me. I don't answer. I don't need to. Because the hardest truth you'll ever face is this. Sometimes people gamble with your heart, fully expecting you'll never call their bluff. And when they lose, they cry. Not because they mean to hurt you, but because they never thought you'd actually go. She's crying now, alone, full of regret, drowning in the wreckage she caused. But me? I've never been more at peace.